black person being targeted in the way that Diane Abbott was, and we wouldn't hear the end of it.
Huge cheer. I mean, considering it is a wet, windy and cold Friday night here in East London, hundreds have gathered to show solidarity with Britain's longest-serving black parliamentarian, Diane Abbott. Now, just minutes ago, she arrived to a hero's welcome and a huge cheer, and we understand that she will be speaking shortly. Now, this is the first time she will be seen in public and speaking in public since those comments emerged from the Conservative super donor saying that he believed that she should be shot and that she makes him hate all black women. Now, although there is anger here towards the Conservative Party's lack of action, there is also considerable action, considerable anger towards the Labour Party.
Hello, my beautiful African people. We are back again with another episode of racism, because we understand that racism will never go away. So we're not going to stop talking about racism. So today we are talking about the current racism crisis in a Conservative Party in UK politics. So we have seen on the news how a very prominent Conservative Party donor, his name is Frank Hester, made a very horrible statement or comment about a very known black MP, Diane Abbott. He said a very disturbing stuff, of which you see in the clips we just played. So, but you know, when you listen to some of these racists, especially in UK, they want you to believe that racism has gone in UK, that there's no more racism in UK. But when incident like this happens, especially when it becomes public, you know, it reminds everyone again that this racism can never go away, because the sponsors of racism, those that are supporting these people, you know, giving them some kind of outlet or media to say something about the talk bad about other group of people, you understand that these people are rich. This man, Frank Hester, is the CEO of the Phoenix Partnership, a software company. And imagine if there is any black person working for this man. And I don't believe there is there is a black man working for him except a black woman, except maybe some cleaners. That's where somebody like that would like to see black people, the position he would like to see the black people in. And the very, you know, when we talk about racism and they see the amount this man gave to the Conservative Party, he gave them £10 million. This is a lot of money. He sponsored them. But when you look at the way the Conservative try to pretend, because you know that racism now, you know, is kind of sophisticated. What they do is that they want you to believe by fronting someone that is not from their group to be like a leader, but on the other hand, he's just a puppet. Nothing. That's why we see the Prime Minister is an Indian background, from Indian background. But and when you see them, they're gonna say, "We're not racist anymore." You see, the leader of our party is not from our group, and they would deceive some. But the people are now understand this, the way these people play their game. This is just, symbolic that they want to present the man there, and they don't have respect for the man as well. It's not only that they put the man to do what they want to do, they don't even have respect for him in that party. But when we talk about racism, we're not just talking about one party like a conservative party, because there's racism in Labour Party as well. Two of them are bad, one bad but different wings. The other one use the other wing to do what they want to do. The other one use the other wing, and they want you to believe that, this one they're left and this one are conservative. But when you look at them, when you study them, that none of them are conservative or even liberals they claim to be, because they will do whatever they want to do just to get in power. They will say what they want you to hear. You want them to say, but inside them, this is not what they want to do. They just want to say something to please the ears of the left and those racists who they call themselves conservative. And in the left there is racism as well there, because when you look at the way they treated this Diane Abbott, the MP, the Labour MP, member of the Parliament, you understand that in Labour there is racism as well, because this man wrote an article. They suspended him for, I think, more than 6 months now. They suspended her, more than 6 months now, because of the article she wrote, and she was critical about a particular group, and the party leader, they decided to suspend her. So she is still in suspension. And now this Frank Hester, the conservative donor, is one of the highest donor in conservative. And you see some members of the conservative MP saying that the money he gave to the party should not be returned to him. You see, now they're not talking about punishing the guy. They're talking about just giving back the gift he gave to the party. And most of the time, this gift is just to buy them, so that those party will be, giving his company some contracts. They don't just give this for free. And now, up to today, the Conservative Party have not returned this money to the guy. But the problem is, it's not about returning the money, it's about punishing him. Because if he said this horrible stuff he said about this lady, this black MP, if he said some horrible thing to somebody from other group, that group I'm talking about, the group that Kenya West upset, that made the bank, to call him and say, look, come and take all your money in this bank, because of what he said. Imagine if this Frank Hester, this racist conservative donor, said the same thing to a member of that group, he will lose lots of millions, or maybe he might even lose his fortune. But because he said it to a black woman, no one cares. They're not talking about punishing him. And one thing about racist is that anytime there is there is a disagreement on what they said, there's crisis, kind of saying, look, this is racist comment. The man denied. He said, instead of him to look at the definition of racism, which he can look up, he decided to define racism in his own terms. I saw a twist he put out on the X, and how he tried to define racism. But that's not the definition of racism, because the definition of racism is inclusive. There's many aspects of racism. And he, of course, he denied that. He didn't say this. That's what they do. The racists never admit that they are racist. And he haven't even apologized. They haven't even getting him to apologize to the lady. That's the problem, you know. But when you look at this is just one person that, you know, that they expose him, because there's lots of racism or racists in UK. But if you look at the media, they try to, you know, say that racism in UK is less than the one in United States. But there must be elements of truth to that, because in US, you know, those police that can go extreme and you know, send some of our black men or women to Judgment Day because they have gun. But in UK, because the police don't handle gun, most of them doesn't have guns, so they don't do that. But they're the same people. If they allow the UK police to have guns, what's happening in America will be happening here every day. They are the same people. So the only difference is the law, because the law here doesn't permit most police to carry a gun. That's why we don't see such a thing. But this kind of verbal racism is always there. And even at work, there's racism as well if you are from other group, you know. Because this racist conservative donor, Frank Hestas, have not been held accountable. And I don't think the Conservative Party or the police in UK is going to hold him accountable. Because if this man said this to the other group, I'm not going to mention their names, by now police would have been started the investigation to find out what is going on, or whether he said that. And if they find him guilty, he's going to face, you know, they will charge him. But we know the conservative, they're not going to do this. And the man, we just maybe the extent they can go is for the man to return the money, for the conservative to return the money he gave to them back, of which I don't even think they're going to do this, because there's lots of money involved in it. £10 million is a lot of money. And this, you know, because the election, the general election is coming, they need money. That's why I don't have hope that they will do anything. Because by the end of the day, some of them, among these conservative, especially their base, but this one, you can't even say that it's from the base, that are racist anyway. Because the only time you see these racists, you know, happy, no, they're not happy anyway, but just the only time you can arouse them is to talk about, you know, the foreigners, the immigration, the immigrants, you know. That's when if you want them to come and vote for you, you must be, you know, over the top about immigrants. That's what attract them. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and comment and like our video. Hit the like button. I'm your Bratan, as the Russians call me, the Muda. Peace.